Good morning, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. I greet in the sign of the rising sun, peace and wisdom. Now I'm sitting here watching this sunrise. And today I want to do this video for you guys, very deep, called Vampires Are Real. Now I don't want anyone to get lost into pseudo and say, oh, this is a pseudo video, or this is just for entertainment. There's no video that I do that's just for entertainment. Every video I do is real. It's just a matter of what you know and what you're willing to grasp. I say willing because it's not a matter if people can grasp what I say or not, but it's just a matter if they choose to or not. It's just like the truth. You can accept it or you can reject it. And same with lies. So all is a choice. So we got to stop saying people are lost and people are asleep and this person is woke. People are what they choose to be. If a person is lost, it's because they want to be. If a person don't know truth, they chose what they know. We all choose what we know. So it's a deep thing. But when you're dealing with vampires, this is a real thing that's coming back. So vampires was a real thing in the past, ancient times. I'm not talking about 300-400 years ago, but ancient times. Vampires were real. And a lot of the myth and legends that we hear of are real things. But it all boils down to knowledge, wisdom. A lot of these things are technology, lost technology. Now, is being a vampire technology? No. What I'm saying is vampires is an effect of a technological cause. So you can look at it as a technological discovery that is used in ancient times led to men having to suck blood from other people, fresh blood, so that they can sustain their lives. The same way we have to eat and kill another life form so we can sustain ourselves another day, same thing. So the technology of the past led to men having to do that just to sustain themselves. So it's a very deep thing. Now, to give you an example, just so you can be a little clearer, let's say those that made dope and crack and AIDS, things like this, they couldn't foresee the effects that these things would cause. They didn't know that dope heads and crackheads would be doing horrific crimes just to sustain their high. You don't foresee that part. So it's a deep thing. We kind of deal with the wisdom and the knowledge and the technology, and then we don't know where it's going to lead. So this is why cause and effect and understanding that is very important. Now, in today's times, our perspective of a vampire is basically someone who drinks blood to keep themselves alive. So how we know vampires in today's times, meaning the legend and the myth and how you see it in movies, vampires suck people's neck. And they do this to get blood into themselves, therefore they remain alive. And on top of that, the vampire stays young, kind of never aging. And this is what we know of vampires. Now, it's a deep thing. We never think in depth on what's happening. So when the vampire is sucking a person's neck, we don't look at it and say, okay, the vampire is doing it that way because it needs the blood fresh, like a blood transfusion. When blood hits the air, it's kind of no good anymore. So when they suck the neck with the needle-like teeth, it's like a blood transfusion. When you do a blood transfusion, you put the needles in, and you transfer the blood, not letting it touch the air. So when they're sucking the neck like that, they're doing that because it's not touching the air. It's transferring straight from the vein to them. So it's fresh, living blood. So when you're dealing with vampires of today, that's what you have. We see it that way. That's how it's pushed out to us. Now, this is all myth and legend, not real, but this is how it's told. Vampires suck neck. They suck blood. And in that, they don't age. If the vampire doesn't suck blood, it'll die. So the blood is almost like food is for us. Blood for the vampire is like food is for us. If we don't get food for a certain amount of time, well, we'll die. And in the process of us not getting food, we begin to wither away and kind of age, you could say. A person that hasn't eaten in a week will look old and beat up. So it's deep. It's the same with the vampires in the movies. If they don't get blood, they start to look dried up. It's a deep thing. And they kind of just die. So it's deep. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because in today's times, they have this new technology, you can say, that they've discovered called parabiosis. And what that is transferring the blood from the young to the old. So they've discovered that if you can put a young man's blood into an elderly person, that elderly person will get young. Again, like magic. Now, I'm not talking instantly, where you transfer the blood of the young person to the old person and boom, they're young. But over a process of time, meaning this is like a treatment. You do it maybe for a year, once every 2-3 months. I don't know exactly how they do it, but it's done exactly like that. It's a process, and you get treatments throughout a certain amount of time. And at the end of the treatments, you're young, literally, like you look like you did when you were 20. And this is real. This is happening right now. A lot of rich people are doing this. It's $80,000 a session. So I'm not making this up. This is real. If you got money and you can afford $80,000 per session, you get young person's blood transferred into you, making you old. Now, of course, the young person will die because they're getting your old blood, meaning it's a transfer. They hook the young person's veins to the old person's veins, and they transfer the blood, meaning swap. And this is repeatedly done over time. Now, you got poor young people. So this is how the poor gets abused for these type of things and their desperation. They explain it to the poor person. Yeah, you're going to transfer your blood and blah, 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 blah. They probably don't tell them, oh, you're going to get old like he is and he's going to be like you. But they kind of just make it, you want to make $100? Give us some of your blood. But the poor person doesn't know what's happening with the blood. So it's deep. And this is a real thing that's happening. Now, what they discovered in doing this is this. I'm sorry, message just popped up. But what they discovered with this thing is this. How they discovered this is like this. How young or old we look depends on our cells. Now, they realized when you're dealing with young people, the cells in young people have longer, what is it called? I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Now, how they discovered this, they realized when you're dealing with the cells, on young people, the telomeres on their cells are longer. And the telomeres on older people are shorter. So you can look at it like like a bomb, so to say. So you have the bomb, and then you have the cord hanging off the bomb, and you light the cord, like fireworks almost. And when the cord burns, then the fireworks explode. So you can look at the cells like that. The cells is the bomb, and then it has like a string, you can say, hanging from it. Now, when you're dealing with older people, the string is now burnt out. When you're dealing with younger people, the string is still nice and long, and the length of that string is what makes a person young. The shorter the string goes, the older the person gets. The body is not moving the same. So when they realize this, they say, man, if we can keep the telomeres long, this can keep a person young longer. But they haven't figured that part out. What they figured out so far is if you could just transfer the blood. So in them realizing that, they like, well, for now, we can do a shortcut version. It may not be as safe, but we can do this version where we just transfer the blood because the cells is in the blood. So we can't make the telomeres longer on the cells in old people, but we could just give them new telomeres. We can give them new cells with long telomeres on it, and they'll be good. So I'm trying to give you an example of science talk in layman's terms that you grasp. Because scientists, the names they put on these things, it's going to confuse you. So I'm trying to like flip-flop in between. So that if a scientist is watching, he'll know that I know what I'm talking about. And if a regular person's watching, you can grasp as well, so to say. But you have that. That's parabiosis. And they basically exchange the blood from the young to the old, making the old young again. Now, this is a process that they have to keep doing, the same way a vampire has to keep biting necks and getting blood. So it's the same in today's times with parabiosis. They have to keep transferring it. Now, they don't look at parabiosis as a vampire because, you go into the doctor, you getting plugged up, and this is nothing like biting neck and all that mythological stuff. There's really no correlation. But I see the correlation. It's a deep thing. A person that's indulging in parabiosis now, paying $80,000 a session, they're no different than a vampire of the past. And we just haven't gotten to the point where these patients that are paying this $80,000 a session, we haven't gotten to the point where they are just running around feeding on people because they have no choice, lest they die. See, you have to understand. When the old person gets that young blood, it really ain't compatible with the body. It's like getting organ transplants. It ain't always compatible. When you have complications, you got to get it taken out and get a new one put in. Same with the blood. It's a thing that they're going to have to keep doing for the rest of their lives. Now, this ain't been being done long. So we ain't get to this point where you got 50 years past and you like, okay, this is something that they're going to have to keep paying $80,000 for lest they die. So now when the old man decides I'm not going to transfer blood anymore, he will begin to rapidly age and die. So let's say you're 60 years old and you've went through this parabiosis process where let's say every month you pay your $80,000 and you get your transfusion. Now let's say this guy decides to stop. After 20 years. He's 80 years old now. He looks 20. Got young man blood in him. He look 20. But he 80. Now let's say he decides to stop. Motherfucker will turn 80 in a week. And because of that rapid aging, it'll probably put him into a critical place where he'll die. Therefore, you got to keep on doing it. Now let's say they ban this procedure. Well, what you think that old man gonna do? He gonna have to find a way to get himself some fresh blood. Biting necks. Grasp. You can't just shoot a person because that blood hit the air. You need it fresh. That's how that leads to that. Where you like, I don't see how vampires could be real. Well, it starts off at just regular normal blood transfusions. Then it gets to the point where a person ain't got no choice. You say, I can't go to the doctor and just get a blood transfusion no more. What you think a person gonna do? And this is where we at. We at the beginning stages of what was of old. Meaning what y'all know as vampires, we at the beginning stages of that. where it's just simple parabiosis. You get a simple blood transfusion and you stay young. And then, next thing you know, 50, 60, 70 years from now, probably shorter than that. Because you got people doing this that's old already. So let's say 20 years from now, going to have an epidemic. Where people going to literally have to be on alert for what we call vampires. Motherfuckers looking to run up behind you and bite your neck. Now, the only difference is you could forget the human powers. I mean, the superhero powers that go with vampires and they move like the speed of light. You could forget all of that. That's the extra exaggerations put on it for entertainment purposes. So I don't want you to think, oh, in 20 years you're going to have people running around here with superhuman powers because they vampires, but they're going to be fragile. And because they're fragile, that's what's going to make them dangerous. They need that blood. You don't see nigga walking around here old as fuck, shaking, looking crazy. He could be looking for somebody to drink. It sounds weird. I know a lot of y'all like this, that can't be real. It's real. That's where that shit gonna lead to. They don't tell people they're not telling the old person, you're gonna have to do this for the rest of your natural life. It's like diabetes now, nigga. You gonna have to always get this transfusion. They ain't gonna tell them that. You just make it seem simple. You come in here and you get your treatment every so often and you transfer the blood and you'll... So it sounds cool. Like, alright, that ain't no real big deal. People have car accidents, they get blood transfusions, so this can't be that crazy. It becomes crazy when you have to keep doing it. You miss a treatment, next thing you know, you turned old again. You like, damn, I'm gonna have to go through a year worth of treatments just to get back young looking again. Because like I said, it's a process. It's not an overnight thing where, like the movie, you take the blood and you just, I'm young. It's not like that. But in real life, it's a process. And it's deep. People so desperate to stay young. They don't realize you want to stay young, stop eating. Eat one time a day. It's deep. Food. These things is what break you down. You're taking more oxygen when you're full. Because that's what's breaking the food down. The oxygen is breaking down the food, releasing the carbon. So you breathe the carbon out, and the oxygen pretty much break down the food. But at the same time, you got oxidation. So this is what ages you. You eat more food, you're breathing more oxygen. So you age yourself faster. This is why people that eat a lot look older than people that don't. You see a fat guy that's 40 and a fat guy that's 40. I mean, you see a fat guy that's 40 and a in-shape guy that's 40, and the in-shape guy gonna look way younger than the fat guy. So it's a deep thing y'all gotta grasp. The more oxygen you take in, well, this is what ages you. So the more you eat, the more you're gonna breathe in, just automatically. Fat people breathe in heavier than slim people because their bellies are full. Has to break that food down. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp, you know. People want to stay young. And the things that people indulge into to do this, it's detrimental to everybody. So this gonna affect people that ain't even indulging in that. They gonna have to walk around with metal braces on their neck and arms because they like, nah, nigga ain't eating me. And I know y'all laughing like, you silly. Damn, that's beautiful. I'm watching the sunrise. I know y'all laughing like, man, Silas, you silly. But it's real. Like, I want y'all to really grasp this. It's real. I want you to think on this. When the old people in today times are getting these blood transfusions from the young, do you think they care that they're taking young person's blood? Because you got to grasp, it's a transfer. They're transferring that old ass blood into the young person. And the young person giving their young blood to the old person. Now, they not doing a whole full body blood transfer, but some at a time. And let's say an ounce. We're going to transfer 2 ounces from the young person and 2 ounces from the old person. And Transfer it, reverse it between them. And then in the next procedure, we'll do that again. And so this is my point. You think they care about the young person? They know the young person gonna get old, because that's old fucking blood. They don't give a fuck. That's their problem. That poor young motherfucker's poor. He probably gonna die anyway. So this is the mentality of the rich. Old rich motherfuckers want to stay young. You a poor person from these third world countries. They don't care about them. They like, fuck them. Go get me about 100 little dirty ass, bum ass motherfuckers from Africa, and I'm draining their blood. And this is happening right now. This is why you be getting all that weird shit where you see people adopting, and you like, why the fuck are they going to third world countries adopting people? Blood, nigga. A lot of times they make them slaves. Raise you up a slave. A lot of things that was in the past is still now. Y'all just don't realize it because it ain't broadcasted, because it ain't necessarily humane. So you still got slaves in today times where motherfuckers is literally slaves. They don't get paid or nothing. They just live with whoever they a slave for, and they do whatever they say. And that's how they in this country. They so desperate to leave their country, they like, man, I live in a third world country. I'll be your slave just to get out of here. You feed me, I eat good food like you. So they eat. For them, I guess the life is better. In third world countries, starving. Then they become a slave for somebody in America. And they eating the best food just like this motherfucker. They cooking it for them and they doing all the work. But they still kind of live the same life. Meaning the servant of the rich man experiences everything the rich man does. He eat the same food the rich man eating. He just don't eat it with the rich man. He makes it for the rich man, but then he eats it as well. He's in the rich man's palace. He's just a servant there, but he still experiences living in the palace and everything the rich man does. So you live in a third world country, you like, I don't see what's the big deal. Like, okay, I'm a slave, but here I ain't fucking nothing but a piece of garbage on the street. So it's deep, but like I said, in the poor being desperate, which they have no choice. So I'm not saying the poor person is just put in the worst situation that you could think of. They don't have nothing. Therefore, they have to do whatever they have to do just to get. It's deep. Like, poor people come in there and do the blood transfusions, and it's like, this is where we get to in life. Where people get so poor, people get starved out, and the life so imbalanced that you got people that's so poor that they blood in their body don't even matter. And it really don't. Because they like, I won't make it the next week. So what good is this fucking young blood I got? I need this little $100. They don't know he paying $80,000 per session and all this, but they like, man, I don't got nothing. They're gonna give me $1,000, $100 right now just for a little ounce of my blood, and I'm still gonna be alive. Shit, I might as well do it, cause I ain't like I could do nothing with my blood. I'm gonna fuck around and die in the street if I don't get no money in a week. So then, you know, the poor, the young poor, they pretty much just do this. And it's a deep thing. It's like I said, the old rich don't care about poor. Fuck about y'all. I don't want y'all to get lost and think, man, I can't see nobody running up biting somebody's neck. Man, these old rich motherfuckers, if they can't get blood transfusions no more, what you think they gonna do? You think they gonna have a heart and say, man, that's a poor black kid from a third world country, y'all. They ain't gonna even be going there. They gonna be going right outside. Whoever they can get it from. You think they gonna say, oh, that's a cute little prostitute. Oh, fuck all that. I'm about to pay for this prostitute. And then when she ain't looking, I'm biting her. I'm getting that blood out of her. I need it. So you gonna have dumb shit like that happening. Which you probably already do. Cause it's deep. Once a person realize, okay, all I need is the fresh blood to not touch the air. So you have motherfuckers going into the hospital stealing blood, and you have many different aspects of this shit happening, but we in them times. It's like I said, a lot of the ancient myths and legends that you guys heard are real things. It's just a matter of knowledge. and when the knowledge is lost. And it's just deep. Giants, all these things y'all have heard. Jack and the Beanstalk, all these things are real. It's exaggerated somewhat, meaning the storyline. The story is made up. But the point is real, meaning Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a story about giants. Regular sized men, and there being giants living in their little realms on Earth. And that's what that story is about. And the giants had all the gold and all the good shit in life. So, Jack climbed the beanstalk and stole their shit. That's all real. That's all real. Now, little dumb shit like beanstalks flying up to the sky, this may be an exaggeration of something. But the point is real. Regular people and giants. And the giants had more shit than the regular people. And that's real. If you go back to Native American history, that's all they do is speak about how they was fighting and going to war with giants on this land. So I guess whenever the ancestors got here in that far past time, it was giants here. This was their continent. And it was a battle for this shit. And I guess the giants lost over time, Regular sized men, I guess they breed faster. I don't know how it works. We ain't really got a lot of giants walking around in today's times. We got a few that play basketball. But other than that, we don't have like really extreme giants just walking around. That's not to say that there are none. That's just to say they just don't walk around regular people. I mean, you don't want to be the weirdo. So we got to kind of start to look at things in reality. We look at things weird. If I was a giant, I'd come out and... Because you want to be famous, but you're not thinking on the flip side of that shit. Giant don't need fame and money. They don't live by our system. So why the fuck do they want y'all to see them? All y'all gonna do is stare at them and try to experiment on them and all type of weird shit. So people not dumb. It's common goddamn sense. It's just like the indigenous people you got on a lot of these islands that haven't been civilized yet. Because they're still islands that are like America was. Meaning America, it just got civilized. Or the system put on it and became a city and all that weird shit over the last 400-500 years. Prior to that, you just had indigenous people of this land running around on the land. Like we would call uncivilized. You still have this all around you in today's times. And they don't deal with regular people. Period. Because they already know, man, all y'all gonna do is exploit us out. So if you never see like giants and shit in the daytimes and you like, man, if it was real, I would have seen it. You only see what you around to see. Giant don't live next door to you, so that's why you don't see it. It's simple, but a lot of the ancient things that we have in the past that we heard of, that we have as myth and legend now, it's a matter of technology and wisdom. And we just starting to, slowly discover these things. The more scientists dig around and pluck around and poke around with life, the more they grasp and fall right back into old times, not even realizing it, because there's no correlation between the past and now. It's just like when I said the drugs we have in the day, these ain't nothing but ancient Kemetic spells from the book of spells and shit like that. That's what those are. Drug recipes, and turn a motherfucker into a zombie. And you see zombies and dope heads today, they zombie the fuck out. But when I said that, people said, man, that's pseudo. They don't realize all you see today is knowledge of the past. Motherfuckers just ain't correlating it. Like, spells is different. A spell ain't drugs. Alright. I don't know what world y'all live in, but that's what spells are. And they had the book of spells, and it was breaking down this chemical go with this chemical, and you get that. And what the fuck you think crack is? This chemical mixed with that chemical. Motherfuckers making spells. Back in the past, it wasn't common use. It was spell shit. I don't know how to explain it for y'all to grasp, because y'all get goofy in y'all thoughts. But all the shit you see today, that shit's really coming from ancient Egypt. That's the truth. All they little Kemetic book of spells and all they hieroglyphic writings, they're just deciphering this shit slowly but slowly and using whatever they can grasp out of it to put it into the system of today times. Now, I know it's a lot of y'all that's blockheaded. Y'all get lost so fast, so y'all be desperate to say dumb shit. Solus, you said that the Metu Netta wasn't deciphered. I said it wasn't deciphered. That means understood. You could get a spell from a goddamn writing. That don't mean you understand the whole fucking writing. So Grassmouth, y'all be getting lost saying dumb shit all day. It's annoying, but a lot of the spells, liquors, and things we have today, this ain't nothing but ancient shit that they getting from these ancient cultures, and they making business out of it. That's all. So y'all, it's just weird. We live in business world. So anything that can be for sale, they gonna sell it. It don't matter how detrimental it is to you or life. If it can be sold, it's gonna be sold. When they came to America, the white men, the first thing they did was raided the cocaine and tobacco farms. And they took all the recipes they could take and they brought that shit back to Europe. That was the first thing they did. Raided the cocaine and tobacco farms that the natives had. All of them. That was first. Forget wood. Forget cutting down trees, getting wood. Forget the pelts. Because, you know, in Europe, they had fur coat companies and things like this. So, you come to America, you got all this animals. And so, you know, getting animal pelts, you know, animal skins. This was, you had people that was coming to America just for that. Hunting for animal skins, bringing it back, selling it to the fur companies. But before all of that, you had people coming here chopping down trees for wood, sending it back to Europe. Because you got different kind of trees, you get different kind of wood. You know, different kind of trees over here, you know, different kind of wood. You send that back. But before all of that, the first thing they came and got, cocaine, tobacco. Cleaned that shit out first. So you grasp when I tell you what's what. Now, the ancient natives didn't call that shit drugs. That was the same thing the Kemetic people called it. Spells and elixirs, nigga. But white men say, oh, wait, we gonna sell this. Well, fuck that. We gonna take this tobacco and we gonna make cigarettes. We gonna sell it. They wasn't smoking cigarettes like that in the past. When I say like that, I mean all weird how we smoke it today? No. The tobacco we smoke today ain't even tobacco. That shit probably like 20% tobacco mixed with a whole bunch of other bullshit just to stretch it. In the past, they smoking real tobacco. It's just like cocaine. People sniff cocaine today. They sniffing bonita and shit like that. Lactose. With a little bit of cocaine in it. But motherfuckers don't know nothing in today's times. You know, the consumer's just dumb. They don't know nothing. So when I was selling yayo to motherfuckers, these niggas didn't know I was cutting it. That don't got nothing to do with them. So this is my point. When y'all buy shit, y'all don't know what y'all buying. The producer of this shit ain't telling you, hey man, we cut your orange juice with water. Why do they need to tell you that? Man, just drink. Shut up. Give me my money. And this is the life we live in. It's deep. It's just like people that's vegans in today's times. It's just the funniest thing to me. Because before the meat was GMO'd and domesticated, before animals was domesticated, the fruit and vegetation was GMO'd and domesticated before anything. So the fruit been faking plastic. So this is where I laugh because you hear people speaking vegetarian shit. And it's like y'all eat plastic. And because y'all live in biased perspective, they just won't admit to themselves that all the fruit and vegetables that you get in America, that shit ain't real. It was made in a lab. So you see the vegans running around and they talk all this dumb shit. They eat healthy, and it's sad because they don't even have a brain. This is where knowledge, information is important. Knowing the history of things is important, lest you fall into stupid shit. So if you understand domestication and food, well then you will understand, well, before meat and fish and all these things was tainted and tampered with by man, fruit and vegetable was first. Grasp that. Trees was uprooted and moved from one place to another, and these things were tampered with first. Grasp that. You had machines coming through, picking these fruits, destroying them. So they begin to GMO the fruit to make it firmer. So when the machines come through and gather it, it don't destroy it. Because machines don't have feelings like people. And people move too slow. So you gotta grasp. The fruit, vegetable, this shit been GMO'd. It been altered way before meat from a cow ever was. So grasp that. A cow is a domesticated thing, but I'm just giving you a perspective. When men hunted and they got deer or whatever they ate meat-wise, the animals wasn't impure. That was real. That was the realest food you was gonna get. Grass. The animals got their own life. It's not like today times where the animals in the zoo being tampered with. But we talking about in the past. Animals live their life freely. They eating what they eat. They move about how they move about. You eating meat in the past, you eating pure meat. The meat ain't 4 or 5 days old, wrapped up in plastic, how we get it today. But it was on the spot killed. Fresh meat. The fruit and vegetable around that time, because fruit and vegetable been fucked for a minute now. It's sad to say, but we don't realize that. But fruit and vegetable been... Once men begin to farm, they fuck that shit up first. Because business, people just don't care. So the fruit vegetables been fucked long ago. If your ass don't live in a third world country, and you ain't getting rich, ain't that some shit? You got to live where poor people live to get real food. It's deep as fuck. In the third world countries, they still got real forests with real food. Real fruit and shit that wasn't tampered with. And in America, we ain't poor, but we don't got real food. We got fake food. If you confused on that, you got a forest around your neighborhood where you can go get your food? No? Then grasp. Your shit came from the laboratory. Period. You can say any dumb thing you want. Oh, I grow my own food. You bought your seeds, didn't you? Did you go to the forest and get food and take the seed from those, or did you buy your seed? So you can get your brain working. The fuck is wrong? Y'all like, it's deep. Y'all be in la la land. Motherfucker, I'll tell you. I tell the nigga, man, the fruit is fake. The vegetables is fake. He'll tell me, I grow my own food. Where the fuck did you buy the seeds, nigga? The goddamn store, right? You didn't go out to the forest and get them shits. So grass. We talking business. Don't matter if you brought the fruit or the seed. You're buying it from the same motherfucking organization. So your seed was made in a lab, nigga, the same way as the fruit. It starts with the seed. So if I'm telling you the fruit was made in a lab and you buy seed from a store, nigga. But in today's times, you can't tell a motherfucker nothing. You just be blockheaded. You could tell a vegan. You do realize that vegans die before meat eaters, don't you? You don't see that? Go to the doctor. You'll see motherfuckers in there old as fuck with diabetes and all kind of shit. But they still alive. They eat meat. And you see motherfucking vegan dying 50 years old for no goddamn reason. You like, what the fuck? Why is the pure motherfuckers dying? It's my point. Because y'all don't know shit about what y'all be talking about. You could tell a vegan nigga that shit. Do the survey on it. I guarantee you more vegans die earlier than meat eaters. He won't deny that. But he'll keep talking the same dumb shit. No, but this is better because you'll be healthier. Healthy got to do with longevity, nigga. If you fucking feel 100% great, but that shit only lasts for 5 years and you die, then how was that healthy? Because this is the vegan's retarded brain. The meat eater lives to be 100 years old, but the motherfucker have complications that whole time. The vegan has no complications, die half the time. They say, oh, but he lived a healthier life. But he died fast as fuck. So what the fuck are you talking about? Healthy is longevity first. So if you having complications, but you outlast the nigga that don't, well, then you was more healthy. Because you lasted. I don't care what kind of sickness you had. You have fucking AIDS. If you got AIDS and this nigga don't, and he died before you, and ain't nigga didn't blow his head off, you was healthy. I don't care what nobody say. They could say, man, he didn't die from no health complications. He just died in his sleep. Well, that motherfucker wasn't as healthy as the AIDS nigga because he's still alive. It's our brains don't work. We say, no, that don't make sense. Health got to do with longevity. Life got to do with good and bad, meaning clean and dirt. Y'all get lost. Y'all think life is supposed to be peachy perfect. You want to live long, you going to have complications. The bitter and the sweet. Motherfuckers is retarded. A lot of y'all don't realize if you want to live long, tarnish your body. Pollute it. This will make you live longer than being pure within. Because we live in a dirty ass polluted world. This is why when those people that live on those indigenous islands come in contact with people that's in the city, they die. Because they ain't built for that shit. That's why babies get immune shots and shit like that and TB shots. Because you live in a filthy ass world. You need some dirt in you. Your food comes from dirt. We got the wrong perspective of dirt. So we got to grasp. You want to live longer, you need to understand that. Dirt. What y'all look at as unhealthy and it's just the process of life. You want to live longer, you got to tarnish yourself. You don't want to die of starvation, right? Well, nigga, you got to go hunt you some meat or pick you some fruit or destroy another life form and eat it. And then you'll sustain yourself. Now, when you do that, you're going to bring yourself complications. Meaning you got to take a shit now and it gets worse and worse as you go on and on and on. But this is the process. Now, if you don't do none of that, you'll die in 3 weeks. But this is my point. We get longevity confused with health. You want to live long, you better start understanding the balances of life. And start looking at unhealthiness and dirt different. Because truly, that's what's keeping half of y'all alive now. The fact that you're a little bit polluted within. It's a deep thing. People will say, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan now and I feel so much better than I did when I eat meat. And then they forget to include other things that they do, like jog and yoga or this thing or that thing. And these are maybe the reasons why they feel better. They don't include things like, I was fucked up at that time and I had so much stress on my back that I don't got now. And they don't include none of this. They just say, I'm a vegan now, so that's why I feel better. And they forget all the other shit that truly got to do with why they feel better. You ain't as stressed out as you was at that point in time. Simple shit like that. You doing exercise now. You wasn't doing that before. So these is why it ain't got nothing to do with the diet, but it got to do with other shit that y'all seem to don't include. And this is my point. When people get biased into their knowledge, it disgusts me. All of y'all do this, so I don't even want to get nobody insulted, because all of y'all do this. I speak to all of y'all, and I got relationships with some of y'all, and it's deep. When y'all do this foolish shit, it truly irks me because those that I deal with, they know. So to see you still pulling for stupid shit, saying dumb shit, it just disgusts me. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why nobody don't know nothing in today's times. Because we get lost in the biasness of what we like and what this sound like. If you want to be a vegan, be a vegan. You want to eat meat, eat meat. I could care less what you do. But stop lying. That's what pisses me off. You're vegan now. You want to make it like, this is cut all that extra shit out. If you a vegan, that shit don't got nothing to do with why you feel better. In fact, I spoke to one vegan and they was just on that dumb shit too, And I get right through to your soul. Tell her, you full of shit. You feel better, yet you look weak. The fuck is you talking about? Bitch broke down. No disrespect. The young woman broke down. She said, man, you right. You sitting here holding up a goofy ass trend. So you could be a part of nothing. I'm a vegan and bitch, you weak. Your goddamn arm. You can't even hold your arm up. What are you talking? Her voice was so soft and I'm just like, oh my God, she's a vegan and she's dying. Bitch getting all thin. It's stressing and straining her out. And she trying to uphold this thing like, no, it's a V. And I'm like, yo, you not talking to one of these lost brothers. I know truth. I know you feel weak. Listen to your voice. You could barely scream, you so weak. You fuck around and raise your voice and die. She broke down and said, you know what? I do be feeling weak. And we got in a real conversation. She like, yeah, my bowel movements and things like this is better now that I'm a vegan. But I do feel weaker. I do be hungry a lot. And we was just going into it and I'm telling her, man, everything got its cause and effect. You can't get lost in the dumb shit. Mix it up. You go a week vegan, go a week eat meat, whatever you need to do, but you got to get an understanding of you. Walking around here feeling weak for no reason. So you can be down with this goofy motherfucker or that goofy motherfucker that's dumb as fuck. It's deep. I've talked to people that know they dumber than me. And they still be trying to tell me about diet and I'm in my mind like, yo, shut up. You know just like I know you ain't halfway on my level if I'm telling you that shit don't matter. Don't talk to me about it because I don't got time for that. Like, I follow what is of truth. I know what is of truth is how much you eat. I don't care. You can eat bugs. Because we get lost. Oh, they eat mice and rodents and you look at shit how you want to look at it because you lost and biased. So you say, oh, the pig is dirtier than the chicken and the mice is dirtier than the cow and you eat chicken and beef. So then you like, man, I don't see how a nigga can eat mice and pig. And it's like, shut up. You talking about life, animals, nigga. Just because you familiar with that and they familiar with that, y'all ain't no different. Y'all both eat meat, motherfucker. But this is the life we live in. We just start to talk on stupid stuff and try to justify it like, no, Solace, but the pig is there. And it's like, shut up. Just get real for 2 seconds with yourself. Like, ain't no difference than a goddamn pig and a deer. The difference is you brainwash yourself into whatever you want. They both life. They both deserve to live. And that's the goddamn point. You need to be aware how much life you taking. Get lost in the stupid ass diets, running around here talking dumb shit. It's deep. People pull to be stupid, like I said, by choice, just to be a part of trends and to say goofy shit. And it's truly sad, but wisdom is in the truth. So hopefully y'all can balance yourselves out and balance out. Stop being biased, and you'll wisen up. Peace and wisdom.